everyone, and welcome back to our show, Miltamed Cosmetic Conversations. My name is Margarita.
And I'm Eman.
And today we're going to talk about surfactants.
So in our last video, we introduced a surfactant called Cepi Plus 400, which is basically just a trade name for a polymer blend made by the company Cepic, and today we're going to discuss it in further detail.
So Cepi Plus 400 is not a name that you're going to see on any ingredient lists. Instead, you will see the INCI names of the three components, which are three polymers: polyacrylate 13, polyisobutene, and polysorbate 20.
But first, what are polymers? So a polymer is really just a long chain of molecules made up of several small units called monomers. And polymers are found everywhere. They're going to be in wall paint, personal care products, and my favorite one, you. You are one big polymer made up of DNA and protein molecules.
So again, this surfactant we used is a blend of three polymers. Polyacrylate 13 is then further a copolymer of three different monomers shown here: polyacrylic acid, polyacrylamide, and sodium polyacryloyl dimethyl taurate.
All right, so let's first focus on just the homopolymer, sodium polyacrylate. It has many uses in industry, too many to list because it's super absorbent in that it swells in water to form a coiled state to an uncoiled state. Sodium polyacrylate is used in diapers and that can absorb 30 times its weight.
But wait, it's used in cosmetic products too. Are they putting diapers in face cream?
You're really not as funny as you think you are, Margarita. So yes, sodium polyacrylate is used in cosmetics as a thickening agent. It's a synthetic thickening agent as opposed to a natural one, such as xanthan gum. Polyacrylate in cosmetics is used in much smaller amounts than in diapers, obviously. It's also used to help plants retain moisture in agriculture.
Those are all very important applications. Now we come to a few that are less important: fake snow and growing toys. I had one of these as a kid. They become really disgusting when they expand, so slippery, soft, and rubbery. I didn't get one of those, but I do have these beads. We'll add some water to them and show you what they look like in about an hour. Yeah, look at that. An hour has passed and the beads have expanded. They've sucked up the water and now they look like frog spawn. And now they've gotten even bigger and sucked up all the water. We won't delve deeply into the other two components of this polymer. Polyacrylamide is a widely used ingredient that can and does have books written about it. In cosmetics, it's used as a film former and thickening agent. The last component doesn't have much information about it. The homopolymer is commercially available. It's sold by Clarion, for example, in order to provide cosmetics with a silky feel, great spreadability, etc. So I'll just say it's also a thickening agent. We weren't able to find a patent or paper about polyacrylate 13 specifically. Somebody probably made it through an iterative process of trying to obtain certain properties.
Going back to the original polymer blend, the next component is polyisobutene, which is a gummy sort of plastic in pure form. It's another multifunctional ingredient used in many industries, more so in fuels and lubricants than cosmetics. It's added to cosmetic products to improve the skin feel and viscosity. Finally, the last ingredient in this blend is polysorbate 20, which is the actual surfactant that forms the emulsion in the cream we made. It has a bunch of polyoxyethylene, or PEG, chains coming off of it, and the total number of oxyethylene repeat units is around 20. Confusingly, these other polysorbates differ not in the number of oxyethylene repeat units, but in the ester chain. For polysorbate 20, this is a laurel, 12-carbon ester. These surfactants are also called tween. In one of my old labs, there was a tween solution high up on a shelf that I bumped into every time I tried to find something there. Eventually I looked it up, but for a while I used to think, tween, what the hell is tween? Isn't that some age group?
wish I was a twin.
So we looked around for this polymer blend in current products and managed to find it in the sunscreen from Rodin and Fields. Actually, they're using quite a few of the ingredients we've mentioned. Pause the video to see if you can spot the others.
Now for today's experiments. In our last video, we used this formula to make a cream. Today, we're going to try out a few variations using the surfactant blend we've just described. First, we're going to try flipping the proportion of oil and water phases to see if the surfactant can support a water and oil emulsion. We're not going to use most of the other ingredients from the previous slide because this will just be a science demo that we will discard.
We're also going to try vegetable oil as the oil phase. The vegetable oil we brought is soybean derived, and it's a mixture of fatty ester triglycerides.
And the last thing is, oh, it's this dumb thing. Margarita, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't do this.
Yes, this thing. Boom.
We're going to make an emulsion with motor oil because look at this ingredient from the original formula. It's just some alkanes, and so is motor oil, only the mixture contains longer ones. I wouldn't use this on my face, but it's practically the same thing. And motor oil goes through a rigorous process that removes impurities because those could damage the engine. So I don't see why the cosmetics industry hasn't appropriated this stuff for real products. For example, they could do something like this, a car-themed cosmetics marketing campaign. Vroom, driving off toward youthful skin. Or this, a bad pun, accelerated wrinkle repair.
Margarita, are you done?
No, just one more. Go at the green light for a new you.
Okay, that one really doesn't mean anything.
Yep. This is the vegetable one, and it looks like a whipped cream. There it is. Motor oil cream.
That's it for this video. We also made another hand cream for ourselves using shea butter instead of the alkanes because they weren't as moisturizing. So you should check out our blog post for the updated recipe for that.
And honk if you like this video.